All right, hello folks, back with the second video here. I'm going to talk about account quests that you can do in advance. So same thing, there'll be a Google document linked down below, perfectly free, with all this information here. We're going to go through it. So Pet Battle is the main group of these, but there's also the cooking and fishing dailies. There's some other sort of account bound stuff as well. They scale up a little bit with level, but it's pretty minuscule. They are account bound, so any character in your account can do them. So you can send some other character off if you're waiting with a character that has the Darkmoon Fair buff and you don't want to log into that character. So you can have your alts go off and do it, which is nice. They don't count to the quest log limit, so you can have like 50 of these in your quest log and doesn't matter. They scale up with a little bit with level, but that's not the important parts. You do want to wait till late in your leveling to do these, not because they scale up in value, because it's only like 100 XP. The reason you wait till later is because when you're first starting off, your focus is really on speed and getting ahead of the crowd. So you don't want to waste like 15 minutes going around turning in pet battle stuff, and then you're just like behind everyone else, right? So that means you want to do it later. And also, the later you get, the higher level you get, the weaker your character is, right? So you start the expansion level 80 and you're basically killing mobs in like one hit if you're in like heroic and mythic gear. By the time you're like level 88, 89, stuff is taking much longer to kill. You're not pulling 8 mobs at once now, right? You're pulling 2 or 3 mobs and you're having to heal and you're having to use defenses and stuff like that, right? Especially me, like this Windwalker monk is quite squishy. So you're definitely questing much faster at lower levels. However, pet battles doesn't involve fighting any enemies, right? You're just running around turning in quests you've already completed. So relatively, they're much faster than normal questing at high levels. So my recommendation is going to be to turn them in around like level 89, and I will talk about that a little bit later. Anyways, so a couple of groups of quests here. The first group is Group A. There are 5 special pet battle quests in the game. They've been in the game for 20 years, so I doubt Blizzard's going to change them. Once you've completed them, you can turn them in from anywhere in the world, right? So this has always been really good. A number of years ago, you would turn them in Spires of Iraq because you get a 20% bonus there. But now since Dragonflight, Dream Surge is there with 25% more XP in that region. So you'll go and do the Dream Surge. So the ideal time to do these, you turn these 5 quests in Group A, is during your crafting. So whenever you end up going to Dream Surge to do profession crafting, which we haven't done a video on, but I do have that in the guide, talking about that. That is when you would turn in these 5 quests. So the 5 quests are listed there. You can find them on Wowhead. I believe for the last one, you have to have a Horde character to go pick it up. So if you're a pure Alliance person, you'll have to like make a level 1 Urk and like run up to it. But otherwise, I think it's pretty easy to get all of them. On Wowhead, there is this macro in the comments that might turn the quests in automatically. I haven't got a chance to test it yet. Eventually, I'll test it and I'll update this spreadsheet. But it looks like you can use that to turn in each one of the quests. You just spam it a bunch. It'll turn in 1 quest each time. If that doesn't work, then you just have to look in your quest log for these 5 names. So it'll take 20 seconds to do that while you're out crafting. And for example, at level 87, with a 10% war mode bonus and Dream Surge with a 25% bonus, these 5 quests will give you 85k. And if you have a 25% war mode bonus, it'll give you about 95k, right? And it takes 20 seconds to go through your log and turn those in. So that's amazing XP per minute, right? So those are definitely worth doing. There's also these 2 quests. As part of the Midnight expansion, you're doing this Erator quest line, which takes you back to old zones like Eastern Plaguelands and, oh god, is it Burning Steps or Searing Gorge? I get those mixed up. Whatever. Burning Steps, yeah. So these 2 characters, these 2 pet battle people are on the path that you will be flying right by them. So you might as well do those quests in advance, and then as you're flying by, you turn them in, right? And those will each be, an extra 15k or something. The third group is the group that people always want to argue with me about. They'll say it's not worth doing, but numbers wise, these are definitely worth doing. We'll go over the numbers a little bit later. You do not have to do these though. I'm not telling you have to do these. This shit is boring. All right. Flying around old world zones, turning these in, it's boring. I gotcha. And you spend a couple hours setting these up sometime in the next couple weeks before launch. And it saves you 5-10 minutes of launch night, right? So it's a waste of time overall, but it's definitely faster for your very first run. So it kind of comes down to whether you want to min-max just for the hell of it, right? I'm thinking the best time to turn these in will be when you're in Voidstorm and you've done the majority of the Voidstorm campaign. One of the very last things is you'll go and you'll have to do the, what's it called? Nexus Point Zenith Dungeon, all right? And that is the last thing that you'll do in the Voidstorm. So you're basically almost at the very end of the campaign. That dungeon, that's about 40k worth of XP from dungeon kills. When you come out, you turn the quests, which is 26k without war mode, 32k with war mode. And then it sends you back to Silvermoon. You turn in the quest for 3k at the table, and then the campaign is done, right? So you know exactly how much is left in the campaign, depending on whether you're in war mode or not. And so you can say, okay, I need, 200k more XP, and then I'll be right at dinging this, and that'll be perfect, right? So at that point, you can choose the pet battles you want to turn in, go off and turn them in. And if you are not doing follower dungeons, if you're trying to do like an actual pug dungeon, you can be doing that while you're waiting in queue. For those of you that are choosing to do follower dungeon, which is what I recommend, so you don't have to wait for like a healer or something. When you do follower dungeon, the way it works is you can queue for the follower dungeon from anywhere, right? So you go, you turn in all these quests. At the very end, you queue for the follower dungeon. It pops, 10 seconds basically instantly. And when you finish the dungeon, you do not click leave group, okay? Instead, at the end of that dungeon, there is a portal that you click on, and that takes you out to right in front of the dungeon, right? So you've harfed away, you've gone and you've done all these pet battle quests, you're somewhere like halfway across the world, and you use that follower dungeon to get back to where the quest turns in. So I think that's probably the best time to do it, because you know exactly how much XP you need, and it gets you back to right where you were. So I've created a route for Horde characters that's about 250k XP with a 25% war mode bonus. If the war mode bonus on launch night is only 10%, then it'd be about 226. But so this is the route. We're going to go do it here live in just a second, but we're going to use the Deep Home potion, which you can buy in the auction house. Drink that teleports us to Deep Home, turn a quest, take the portal back to Orgrimmar. We're going to fly south a little bit, turn in a quest that's just outside of town. We're going to go back into Orgrimmar, turn in the cooking and fishing dailies. Those will not get war mode bonus because they're inside of town. And then we're going to take the Oldham portal, turn that quest in. We're going to use the Karazhan ring, which some of you might have from like 10 years ago. Teleport to Karazhan, turn the pet battle quest there. We're going to use something called the Time Lost Artifact. I have all the links around here if you need them. That's for reputation with that extra island, the Emperor Xiaohao or something like that. So we're going to teleport there, and we're going to turn in 2 quests. Then we're going to use the old Dalaran, not the new Dalaran Hearthstone, but the old Dalaran ring teleport. And we're going to turn in 2 quests there. And then we're going to use our guild cloak, of which there's 3 of them, remember, to teleport back to Orgrimmar. Then we're going to hop in Jade Forest. And we're going to turn in 5 or 6 quests in Pandaria. All right, so all that together is 250k, and it takes 4.5 minutes. All right, so 4.5 minutes, 250k XP. That's 57,000 XP a minute. Side questing at level 89 is probably a little bit under 20k, so it's twice as fast as doing side quests. So for anyone who says, "Oh, it's not worth it, it's not faster," blah blah blah, they're totally wrong. Now, if your argument is, hey, I don't want to do pet battles because they're fucking lame, I've never done them or whatever, or I'd rather just do the new content, that's perfectly reasonable. All right, I get that, but this is technically faster, right? So these 2 quests here are the slower ones that you can knock out, or you can drop from the list if you don't want to do them. That is for Horde players. It's this lady that's right here, Zunta. So you spend like 35 seconds flying into out of town to turn that in and flying back to Orgrimmar. So you can drop that one. And then the other one is the old Dalaran ring teleport, and then flying to near the Hes Nick and Gutwrench. It's kind of long flights, so it takes a minute and you get 2 quests. So those are the 2 lower value ones. If you have too much XP already, you can drop those. If you need more XP, Then what we've got up there, then there's these. These are all relatively slower. These are still probably faster than side questing, but they're slower than delves. So in general, if you've done all the delves, then maybe you can add some stuff in. But these are ones that you could have like completed just in case, right? I don't know what something can go wrong launch night. You miss like an area that you were supposed to do, and you're like, oh shit. Well, here you go. You got some extra quests, XP stored up that you can go turn in if you want. Yeah, let's actually do the run. So we're looking for about 4.5 minutes. I only get one chance to do this because the Karazhan Ring teleport has a 4-hour cooldown. So I tested this 4 hours ago. But let's try and do one run right now. This is the only chance I get to do this. So let's make this work well. One sec. In terms of how to have this set up, my advice would be have an extra action bar that you hide so you level up. And at the end, you come in here, you turn it on, it's got your portals on there, right? So I'll include that in the time just for the hell of it. So we're somewhere out in Voidstorm, right before the dungeon, and let's get a timer going and get started. All right. Oops. All right, so we're taking a deep home potion. Starting on that quest. Flying back inside. So Alliance is off to the left, Horde's off to the right. So we're doing this on live servers. I can't do this on beta servers because the beta servers are not running any of these zones. And so there's a 60-second load screen every time I teleport. So this is on live. I need to switch my map back to the smaller map. Boom. Okay, turn that in. And now we're going to do the fishing and cooking dailies. There's like 4 or 5 different quests that could happen. It doesn't matter, just do them. And just do one and store it up or whatever it is. So I have bacon right now, but you'll have different ones. Right here, that's the cooking guy. Fishing quest. Right here. And that in, and then we're going to go to Oldham. Alliance has the advantage of whenever they teleport, they can ride back up in this ring, so they can do Oldham and Nigel, but Horde, we're just going to do Oldham. Ruh-roh. Go load in. Might be the only person in Oldham right now. Turn that in, and then we are going to Karazhan. That ring is an instant cast, which is nice. I don't know what you had to do to get that. You had to do a bunch of Karazhan stuff like long ago, but turn that in, and then we're going to Time Lost. That's like a 10-second channel. There'll be 2 quests here. There'll be Little Tommy, which is a simple quest, and there's the Celestial Tournament, which is like a big-ass level 25. You need a bunch of pets to do it. You'll have to get a video guide for it. That's that quest. Turn that in. Turn that in. And now we're going to Old Dalaran. So this is not the Dalaran Hearthstone. Right, that takes you to newer Dalaran. This is oldest Dalaran. Wrath of the Lich King Dalaran. It's on the other side of the lake over there. Will be nearly Headless Jacob or whatever. Boom. We're going over here. Got Wrench. And so these are 2 that I would drop if you had too much XP, right? You can do the math. You get to the dungeon and be like, okay, I don't really need this XP. I'm already getting to level 90, and just, I would drop these. Takes 30 seconds a piece. These are a little bit slower. Back to him, and then we're going to Guild Cloak. It's nice to have all these teleports in like a little extra action bar like this. And then we're taking the Jade Forest portal. So Horde start in the north. Alliance start in the south. So Alliance would come up and get this one. I don't think I'm gonna have time to make an alliance only video. So alliance start down here and go up there, get that one extra one on the way. It's not worth it as Horde to fly down there and then fly all the way back up. So we're going up here to Whispering Pandaren Spirits. Boom. We're going across to Thundering Pandaren.
This cannot be. The Black Empire itself has invaded the Vale. Act swiftly.
And then down here,
This cannot be.
loads in these three. And then Aki can either be down here or up here. During an invasion with the dark sky like we have right now, he's over here. Boom. So there, we're done. That took 4:45. I was 10 or so seconds slower today, this time around, because we're talking and stuff. Anyways, so that's your example of 250k in like 4.5 to 5 minutes, right? So even if we did 5 minutes, it's still 50k. Okay. So I think we have proven that yes, it is good XP per minute. Now, if you want to do it, you don't want to do it, that's up to you. I'm not your dad, all right? That's not, I don't want to get into an argument about it. I'm just saying mathematically is the best thing you can do. And this is where you would queue up the follower dungeon, right? Queue up the follower dungeon. I'm going to be doing them as a tank. And you'll, pops in 10 seconds. You do your dungeon. At the end of the dungeon, you click the teleport to leave, and it takes you right back out to where the quest gets turned in. So it doesn't matter that you're out here in Pandaria, right? So I think that's the best bet. Is there anything else to say about pet battles? I don't really think so. For those that don't want to do the other, like this big group down here, that's fine. But I would definitely recommend doing these up here. These 5 that are like remote turn-ins, those are really good, man. And these 2 that are just right on the quest, like right on the path, I think those are definitely worth doing. But yeah. Is there anything else? I don't know if we're going to do a crafting video. I can't do this video until the Dream Surge is back in Anaran Plains, which doesn't happen until February 24th. Right? I mean, I guess I can do it. Anyways, that'll be it for today, guys. I don't care if you like, comment, and subscribe, because I'm not a YouTuber. But I just hope you enjoy the free information, and we'll have some more videos. I want to get some runs uploaded, some full runs. So I'll try and get that out in the next couple of days or so. Have a good one.